Yo, it's the bill collector, Ron Bill, and I'm a collector. So, yeah, baseball's back, as we all know. And I told you the last time around how I felt about it. It's cool and everything, and but I think baseball dangles the fans, or dangles all this in front of the fans, and I ain't too cool. But whatever, y'all getting what you want, and that's baseball, and I'm getting what I want, and that's to go see the game where they retire Will Clark's number 22 at Oracle Park on July 30th, 2022. A lot of sightings going down in baseball, and I'd like to talk about that. Freddie Freeman to the Dodgers, Chris Bryant to the Rockies, Chuck Peterson to the Giants, Zach Greinke to the Royals, Clayton Kershaw signed 1 year, 17 mil for the Giants. I mean the Dodgers. That's a lot. But anyways, if you're a Dodger fan, I know you got a hard on because you guys get a hard on for everybody the Dodgers sign because you think that's the World Series guaranteed. All right. You get off it, bro. But Freddie Freeman's a damn fine pick. Great baseball player. And you know what you're gonna get. The guy's not a freak off the field either. So kid's just gonna show up to play. He's coming back home as he's from Orange County. And I mean, honestly, there's nothing to feel badly about if you're a Dodger fan with that pickup because he's definitely a great player. And I'm a Dodger fan, but look at all this shit right here. It wouldn't scream that one bit. But they signed Clayton Kershaw to a 1 year deal for 17 million, and I kind of feel that's appropriate. And if he's healthy, he's got something left. So that's the bottom line there. And at 17 million, it's probably a bargain because I think he probably could have got a few more in Texas. But he's loyal. He's been on that in that organization since he was a little boy, and why not stay? So that's cool. Now, Chris Bryant going to the Rockies for 7 years. What's that do for that team? Yeah, he's versatile. Whatever. I guess you know what? If the Rockies aren't that great, that's a great pick, right? No reason to be down on that. Now is Chris Bryant on this trajectory? Is he on this trajectory or is he on this trajectory? I don't think it's the last trajectory I showed. But look, they saw 7 years worth of player to grab, so hopefully that works out in the Rockies' benefit. But where does that take the Rockies in the long run? Who knows? I guess they got a lot of work to do there. Um, you know, Jock Peterson to the Giants. Not a This is not a move to write home about. That's for sure. And the Giants have kind of not really done much this offseason. And maybe they're hoping to bank in on how good they were last year with what they had. And like I said, just trying to stick with that, see how that works. Who knows? Because you look, super teams don't equate to jack. Look how terrible the Lakers are right now. They got every damn good player in the book, but playing together, everybody being healthy, that's what you're never guaranteed. So we'll see how this baseball season plays out. But I hope the Dodgers do very, very well, which I'm pretty sure it's expected. Me, I've seen the Dodgers be good. I've seen the Dodgers be bad. And then the Dodgers of the last 9 years have only been good. So if you're a Dodger fan, of the last 9 years, you guys are spoiled little, little brats. But longtime fans of teams, you go through the ups and downs, and that's just the way it works. And like I said, Freddie Freeman to the Dodgers doesn't equate to anything right now. So we'll see how that pans out. But as I mentioned, good kid, good pickup, and I can live with that. Now, wow. So ever since I was young, I just, man, I have a hard time buying into hype. And believe me, it took me a good 4 years to be like, okay, Ken Griffey Jr. is solid. He's solid, Hall of Famer. But look, Fernando Tatis is a damn fine player when he's in the lineup. Now, he broke his wrist in the offseason. That's questionable behavior to me. Or am I just being a fuddy duddy, dude? You know what the fuck a fuddy duddy is? I don't. It's what the fuddy duddies used to say. But that kid, he's a liability. $350 million, and he can't even stay on the damn motorcycle. Look, I like to ride skateboards, but shit, man. Look, I've broken so many bones on a skateboard, but that's all fine and dandy when you're a kid. When you're older and you got responsibilities and you gotta show up to work and shit, you gotta balance those things. So that kid flying around on a motorcycle breaking his wrist in the off season, I just don't know if he's using his noodle all the way. So Fernando, you got some baseball to play, kid. Quit fucking around on motorcycles. Hey, we all gotta have fun, but that's this is what sacrifices are. When I break my arm, I can't make art. Art's what makes me money. So I gotta like really, really be careful with those other things. But whatever. I'm just judging. Leave me alone. We'll see how the year plays out. I'm excited about it to an extent, but I just didn't. I mean, I wasn't just like waiting around for it. Like these guys have issues with money, and they'll take as long as they need to take, and they don't care about the fans when they're taking that time. Remember that. But we love baseball nonetheless, and we're getting it, and that's just fine with me. So a couple of the items I got to show you today regarding the Clark collection. Look, I don't take much time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just take this, and this, and I'll show you. And that's what I did today. Now, if you're a Will Clark fan, or if you're not, the days of yesterday in which he played, it's a far cry than it is today, and that's why I kind of like live in the past regarding the baseball that I choose to talk about, because when I was a kid, it was all bitching to me, and as an adult is when I understand the bullshit that goes along with baseball. That's not baseball at all. It's just the business of baseball. And when you're a kid, you can kind of maybe just find a way to filter that out and not hear about it, and still love your dudes and love your team and love the game the way you do. When you get older, you realize that the owners are always trying to fuck the players. So just remember that. You think, it's the players are being greedy. Believe it. It's the other way around. Just remember that. So this first item here, this is some weird shit, man. Like Like the stuff that they used to come out with back in the day for collecting was just insane. Well, I'll just take this out. Who cares? It's not in mint condition. Oh, I guess there's no brand on it, so I'll just leave it in there. But this wacky thing that I'm going to show you, if I can get back in there. Goddamn, you need a Will Clark mask? Yeah, to slip in the collection, I do. You just poke those eyes out, and you got yourself a thingamabobber. Let me see. If you're watching, you want to say hi? Say hi. Hi. But yeah, just poke that out and look, you got a Will Clark mask. Ooh, man. They might mob you down at the ballpark if you wore this thing. Now, this was let's just say, charitable gift/donation to the Clark collection via this guy, Ryan Stadler. Now, Ryan, man, this guy's got some fine collectibles, other than his Will Clark stuff. But he was gracious enough to go through his things and just, I mean, God, he sent me the biggest padded envelope full of all kinds of stuff in regards to Will Clark. And I didn't have that. So a lot of the things people send me, I have. Sometimes I don't have it. And this guy's collection was broad enough to, like, he sent me a bunch of things I just didn't have yet. So that was cool to get. Ryan, if you were to ever see this, thank you. I do believe I told you thank you in real life. And, on, okay, social media to me is one of the weirdest things in regards, why do we do it? What is it really for? Who's good at it? How often are you supposed to do it? I have so many questions, and part of being an artist is promoting via however I got to promote. And I think one of the things that struck a chord with other people was when, okay, so you post art, but like for me, being the salesperson is always the hardest bullshit to do, because I just like to have fun with it. So I don't like to be that sales guy. Buy my shit, buy my shit. Hopefully you'll buy my shit. But what resonated with people was when I started showing my own collection of stuff. So I think what that did was, okay, oh man, he's not always trying to sell his shit, and he's kind of like us too. And I am. It's like, literally, look at this right here. It sparks my nostalgia to collect those things that were around when I was a kid, and you don't have the money for it, or just whatever it is. Like the internet and social media opened up this world in regards to how many people are still, not how many people collect, but people of my generation. Like, I don't know why, but my generation, like us old dudes, why are we still collecting? And to be honest with you, none of the stuff I have is really worth any money. But if you've watched the show before, I'm not collecting with any kind of investment strategy. It's really just to highlight that really cool time in my life where I was hanging out with my bros, and we're collecting and going to card shows and shit like that. And when you grow up, life gets in the way of that type of stuff. And so, anyways, when I started showing my collection, people were like, "Oh, that's cool, man. I collect too. I collect." And you become part of a bigger community than just you and the couple of friends you used to do it with. And anyways, I go on all day about that, but it's really cool when people send me stuff. It shows how kind people are, and it's also nice to contribute to other people's collections however I can. Now, that same guy Ryan, amongst all the other stuff that he had sent me, there was this calendar right here. Actually, it's not a calendar. It's like it was a calendar, and then these pages had gotten ripped out. But this is one page of, and it's Will Clark signing for the kids. Now, if you want to know how popular a player can be, and this is before social media, Will Clark was immensely popular. Look at every one of those kids is dying to get the Thrills autograph, and that's bitching. And what's even more bitching is Will Clark took the time to sign for these kids, you know. And I mean, look right here. This is awesome. Is it right there or right there? I can't see. Let's see. Oh, this leg right here. That chick was getting autographs on her pants, dude. I mean, I wonder if those pants are still around. But Will Clark was always good to the kids. And then I think these players catch on really quick on the guys that are just trying to sell their name, and I can get how that's pretty fucking annoying. And I was able to talk to him about that, and he told me he would scope the adults out in the stands, sending kids down to get his autograph, and the kids will rat him out too. So that's some funny shit right there. That's a couple of things right there. Next thing I'm going to show you is, and I don't even, did you guys do this? If you were a collector back in the day, or if you're a collector now, but anything that reminded me of the player, I get. I don't exactly know how I got these, but it magically ended up in the car with me when I was a kid. Number 22, the Carl's place markers, and got one up there as well. But anything 22, the number, just collect, man. That's what I was doing, and my collection is eclectic, all kinds of weird stuff. Here's a recent pickup, and I don't even remember this being an actual game. I remember the cards. I collected the cards, but I did not know that it was part of a game. So I don't know. 1990, which one is this? 1990 Classic. You remember this? Pretty cool. The card. I don't know. I liked Classic. I don't know. Were they considered a bootleg? It's like Tops and Fleer was all considered legit, and then Classic was like a weird off brand. But I thought they were cool, and I definitely desired the cards. And like I said, I had no idea that it was a game at all, and it was probably kind of cool to play. Don't know what the rules are, but there was another game that my friends and I used to play, and it was Strato Baseball. And in a weird way, I feel like how baseball is so okay. What's like war and all these weird calculations to kind of see what a player is going to do or capable of doing or whatever. But this game kind of encapsulated that slash percentages slash outcomes mentality. And at the end of because you could play a season, and so I have 5 or 6 or 7 guys. We'd all choose a team, and it was like an all-star thing. We'd have a draft. I was always hoping to get Will Clark, and I'd build a team around that. But you build the team upon who you can pick, because that's just how it goes. And at the end of the season, when the final stats were in, it was weird how the stats reflected how the player played. Let's just say it like that. And it was weird how that happened. But I mean, this is This is how gambling odds are made. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like every bit of that is for to put some money on the game, bro. You have a kind of an idea what somebody's gonna do based on what they've done. It all makes sense to the gambler. I'm not a gambler. I hate losing money like that, so I stay away from it. Okay, so you remember Will Clark was a beast. Well, during the '89 NLCS against the Cubs, excuse me, where Will Clark literally wrecked shop. I forget who the announcer was, but Will Clark had done a Will Clark thing in the game, and the announcer said something like, "And Superman has done it again." And so that's kind of what this is all about. I made Superman, made him as Will Clark, and he's breaking off the Cubs in the 1989 World Series. My bad, National League Championship game series. So here you go, just kind of like showing you the frame along with the composition. Pow! All right. Oh, so I tell you, I'm an artist. I'm always making something, and I go back and forth from painting, and I usually do it in spells. So I'll just paint a lot for a while, and then do a lot of another thing for a while. And so lately, I've been drawing a lot, and every time you finish up a sketchbook, you're like, ah, damn, you want to start another sketchbook. But so this time around, see, because a lot of sketchbooks have shit in them. And what I mean by shit is not every idea you have is bitching, you know? Not everything you start and with an idea is what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes you can't keep the that magic spark going to like really elaborate on it. So a lot of sketchbooks are mostly ideas, and then some of the compositions that you actually finish and put the time into. So what I wanted to do was, okay, I wanted to do a drawing project, a sketchbook project, but have the entire sketchbook be of quality work. So I don't put anything in this sketchbook unless I intend to, you know, see it out. And it's a small sketchbook, as you can see, but it's pretty chunky. So there's a lot of pages in here. And so what I am choosing to do with this sketchbook is I'm going to fill it with only portraits and of just baseball. Okay, but baseball and other things. This is the things and people that I like and whatnot. So I'll just give you a little tour of what's in there so far. And well, Jesus Christ, there's a lot to do to finish this book, but not everything is for instant gratification. All right, let me take these little pages out right here. All right. So we got a little Wolverine drawing in the opening flap right here because I'm trying to cover every page from front to back. All right. Of course, we're going to start this off with little Will Clark drawing, kind of like in a baseball card fashion. And these are more caricature than I've ever really done, but I feel like just this Will Clark one is the most caricature before I started to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Make it less caricature, but still be. there's the next page. And so what we have going on here is heavy bleeding of the ink to the back side of the page. And the problem with that is that ink, when it's pressing down on this page, bleeds through onto that page as well. And that's what happened here. And that's why I choose to draw Drew. That's why I chose to draw Cal Ripken next, because I had already had that orange kind of setting in there somewhere. And so I drew around it. So there's Cal Ripken. So what I had done to remedy that was got these two little pieces of paper right here that I stick behind that paper when I'm drawing. And as you can see, those are all the ink bleeds through to that page. So that's a few drawings worth of bleeding ink. All right. If you're watching, that's Barry Bonds. I think I took that from the 86 Topps picture, and he's got the pillbox cap on. This was young, skinny, powerful, and fast Barry Bonds. And God, steroids or not, I think he would have been a Hall of Famer. And I think it's time for baseball to start letting the greats in, regardless. In my opinion. Here's the next one. Look, I grew up liking a lot of sports. As I've grown up, it's just mainly just baseball and just that. I mean, when Barry Sanders retired from football, it was kind of like done. But I mentioned before, when I was a kid, that's like that. Those are the eras of sports that to me are the best. And today's sports are just trying to compare to those and not living up to it. Of course, you got to have the bird and the magic, and you're going to come across Magic Johnson in a minute. But those are basically my three favorite players from back in the day. Little Magic Johnson right there. Wade Boggs was my favorite American League player until he went to the damn Yankees. Damn. F the Yankees. Straight up. Except Donnie Mattingly played for the Yankees. Who doesn't love Don Mattingly? I do. So, yeah, there's a couple of Yankee players that you really can't deny. And Don Mattingly was one of them. So this era of basketball, this was the Kobe era. Um, yeah, I kind of still watch that. I liked Kobe Bryant. Allen Iverson was a little pest, but a damn good pest. And thought I'd, you know, put a little respect on Allen Iverson's name with that one. Right, this is I got one that I'm starting after this, but this guy is probably somebody you've never heard of, and his name is Billy Claus, and he played for the Boston Red Sox at the time. Teddy Williams was on the team. He was a scrappy player, this, and that. But I chose to draw him because an Instagram friend of mine that also makes card art, well, that's his great uncle. And he's kind of like a historian on his uncle and collects things regarding his uncle's career. And yeah, we're going to get some prints out to that guy regarding Billy Klaus. He played for a few other teams, Indians. But apparently, he's a pretty good player. And last but not least, what I'm working on, and that's going to end up being a little Willie Mays drawing. It's funny. Before I was on No Filter, I've been trying out different avenues of going live. And when I was setting the room up, I was on TikTok at the time. And I'd set some stuff up, and then I'd go to the comments and interact with the viewers. And one of the viewers said, "Dude, you must be single." And I suppose it looks that way, but I'm not. I actually have a lady of 16 years that just puts up with my shit, and I'm lucky. So if you're a man and you don't want to be lonely, make a good choice on finding your lady. Find a lady that's not going to try and change you. That's hard. Almost impossible. But it's possible. Stand your ground, fellas. Stand your ground. I'm not going to be with you if you don't let me collect baseball cards. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work at all. But yeah, just, you got to find the right person that, like I said, lets you be you. Try not to be too dorky. This doesn't really go beyond the house, but it does occupy a lot of the house. I mean, I had a Will Clark wall set up right when you walk in the house at one point, and that's actually what that is right there. That's basically what it looked like right when you walked into the house. And so, I'm trying to minimize the just all the little things that can go up on a wall or occupy space downstairs. And then this office right here is to the gills. And then the bedroom on the other wall is to the gills. But that room is more it's the non-Will Clark stuff. Like this room right here kind of is like mostly Will Clark, got some Wolverine stuff and some little things here and there that aren't Will Clark. The other room is baseball superstars in general. I've got a wall dedicated to the Dodgers and Dodger players and whatever autographs and stuff I have there. And but I mean, honestly, this room right here is my clean studio. So when I'm not really flinging paint around or the clean studio, that machine right there is for cutting graphics and vinyls of sorts and making stencils and whatnot. So we can't get this room dirty. So me as an artist, I do work between the garage, a little space downstairs in the living room. I mean, just it sucks if you're my lady. We'll just put it that way. Lots to deal with this one right here. But me making art isn't stopping anytime soon. And me being a collector, that's not really anything that's going to stop anytime soon either. Though we go through ups and downs on when we're collecting, and this has been a point where I can't really remember the last thing. Oh, my bad. Right there. You see that? I just got that not too long ago, maybe less than a month ago. And that's an 89 Giants jersey, the World Series patch on it. And probably can't keep it hanging there that long because those crisp white jerseys get dirty AF really fast. But it's it's like that jersey right there, old Giants logo, which I like a lot better. Okay, I feel like the Giants changed the logo the year Will Clark left. They went to that kind of New York Giants look, where where it just like, the little points on the letters. Like I said, it looked like the New York Giants graphic, but with the San Francisco stuff. So yeah, that's about the last thing I've picked up on my own. And like I said, people send me stuff every now and again um, via the mail and the kindnesses of their heart. See that willpower poster? That's from a dude in Canada. He's like, "Oh man, you collect Will Clark? Shoot, I think I have a willpower poster still on the wall at my parents' house in Toronto. When I go visit them, I'm going to see if it's still up." And lo and behold, a couple months later, after not thinking about it, he hits me back up on Instagram and he goes, "Hey, dude, what's your address? I got that poster." And I was like, "Cool, dude." I was like, "Let me know how much that shipping's gonna be, and I'll pay for that. I really appreciate you thinking of me with that poster." And then the poster got here, and he never asked. And I asked, I was like, "Hey, dude, what's your PayPal? Well, tell me what the cost was." Nothing, man. I mean, I just was like blown away by the overall kindness and thoughtfulness of other people. And that's kind of like in this little space of collecting, that's what I'm seeing. Like, hey, and I feel like it's mostly with the kids. Not I'm not a kid anymore, but like when we were kids, we came from the junk wax era. But no, trust me, back then when I was a kid, I had my Will Clark collection, and then I was hustling cards. Trust me, me and my friends were selling cards. We shop the shop, stuff they needed. We were selling stuff, making kid money with baseball cards. And then what we were left with when that whole thing bursted, when the bubble popped, there was we were left with a whole bunch of cards of lots of other players that we don't collect. And then what do we do with it? You know what I mean? It's like really you can't sell it. So we're giving it away, You collect that guy, cool, you could have this. And then we've had that really cool interaction between collectors, and then what happens is, and when you do that and it's a good transaction, you start to make friends. And that kind of like leads me to yesterday regarding friends that I made via, this is so funny. Funny is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. I make art. I make a lot of Will Clark art. I make a lot of art that's not Will Clark. Okay. So I ended up in San Francisco at the beginning of 2018, I believe it was. And it was for a presentation at the San Francisco Public Library where, okay, it was a documentary movie called A Game of Color, which talked about the Negro Leagues of Baseball. After the movie screening and Q&A, which I happened to be a part of the panel, there was the art and we call it memorabilia. Sure, it was memorabilia exhibit on the upper floor of the library. And I had a bunch of art in it. And, you're just kind of like walking around and, and I hadn't seen the exhibit yet. I'd gone there. We did the show, we did the Q&A, and then I got to see the exhibit that my work was a part of. And of course, on stage, it was in San Francisco. I wore that jersey there, like when in Rome, of course. And me and my lady are walking around enjoying the exhibit, and people that were in the stands watching the presentation, they were coming up to me. Oh, hey, awesome. The documentary was really good. You guys were good up there. Oh, you make this art? And then we just start talking as people. And I made friends up there. And that's kind of like it's kind of what baseball's always been to me. If you're on a team, you're not going to be a good team unless you make friends on that team and you're there because of the game of baseball. And I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little sappy, but you can be from two total different places of the world and come together because of the sport. And that's awesome. And I've made, like I said, my friends were down from San Francisco to basically visit me on their vacation. And that's awesome. And that's kind of what that's what baseball is all about to me. I mean, you go to the game and you start to shoot the shit with the people in front of you or on the side of you. You go to a little league game, you make friends with the parents. And through the game of baseball, and because of baseball, there are baseball cards. You see what I mean? It's just like this weird chronological order. But the foundation is the actual game itself. And for those of us that, I stopped playing competitively in high school. And but that doesn't mean I didn't love the game still. It's just, but guess what, buddy? You're not good enough to play any further than this. And that's fine because I never played baseball thinking I'd be a major leaguer. But collecting gets you just a little bit closer to the game. Like I said, you get to learn things from the baseball players, the backs of the cards, where they're from, how tall are they, how much they weigh, things like that. And it's kind of just been the foundation and the basis of my love for the game and why I make art of it. I mean, I spend so much time. I never have to think of something to make. It's like, but there's always something from baseball just to make. And you know, I try to act hard like I'm not stoked that baseball is happening, but like I said, I'm happy. It's just now I don't spend as much time like just okay watching it rather than participating and making it. That's the difference. And when I was a kid, you turn on whatever regular local station that has the team contract, and you got games to watch. Now I have to have a whole cable package, and I don't even watch much TV to watch the Dodgers. I don't want to have to pay 125 bucks to watch baseball on TV. And I did it for 3 years with Spectrum. And look, bro, 88 games sitting on your fat ass watching the TV, the most unproductive hours you're ever going to spend. So I got better things to do with my time, excuse me, than to sit around watching baseball. And like when you get older and you find out that baseball doesn't even really care about you as a fan, it's whatever. So I'll catch whatever game I catch, if it's the YouTube game of the week or the 10 games they're going to broadcast on TV for the Dodger fans. That's fine. That's enough. I'll catch whatever games I go to. I've got the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes 10 minutes from me. Went last year, tickets were $11. Yeah, yeah. So I'll get my baseball in. I'm not dying for it anymore. I got like some other things to do than just to schlep around hoping for a game to come on TV. Now, right next to me, I have my my album full of magazines, and oh, here we go. I saw one of the kids in that picture that I showed regarding Will Clark signing autographs, and one of the kids was actually holding this Beckett right here. A badass cover right there, to be honest with you. Kevin Mitchell was an absolute beast in '89. I think the kid had 33 home runs before All Star, like at All Star break in 1989, and I feel like he was the first person in my conscious awareness that even made any noise towards hitting 60 home runs. But he ended up with 47 that year, so second half he definitely tailed off a lot. Excuse me. Now I always like to look in these things because the articles are pretty good. And there's been a couple of, it's like, oh, this page got ripped out right here. Excuse me. Articles warning people about the scummy side of collecting. And it's kind of cool because you need that, it warned me before it happened of the card boom, the junk wax boom, whatever it was, when it all came crashing down, when there was more product on the floor than anybody needed or wanted. And yeah, and so what this magazine did, and I think Beckett still comes out, but I got no need for it. This is like a monthly. This one right here is like what cards went up, what cards went down, what players are hot, what players are not, what players are hot in what state. Will Clark was, let's see, hot in California. Wade Boggs, Will Clark, Tony Gwynn, Bo Jackson, Jim Abbott, Don Mattingly. And players that were cold and not. Oh, maybe this was just what was hot that month. Yeah, that's right. Hot that month and what was going down. So Steve Garvey was going down that month. Pete Rose, Eddie Murray, Wally Joyner. Anyways, cool stuff. And I used to have my nose in this thing every single month. Like this was my Bible when I was a kid. And just like the ticker on the stock market, we'd be looking for the up arrows rather than the down arrows. And here you go. I'll just show it for you. Stand up. Show that. There's the hot list. Will Clark, Bo Jackson, Kevin Mitchell, Ken Griffey Jr. It's hard to read from back here. It looks like Jim Abbott and so on and so forth. But Will Clark was a 6-time All-Star. If you're going to make the All-Star 6 times, some people don't even make it once. So, you see all this shit I'm showing you? It's because Will Clark was a very popular player and very worthy of it. And for Christ's sake, should be in the damn Hall of Fame. Get over it. Put him in the Hall of Fame. This was behind that in the folder, but Will Clark's first spring training with the Texas Rangers. That was weird, man. That was weird for me. I've said it before, but 1994 was a pivotal year in my life. And so my life was changing when I was becoming a dad at 19 years old. And Will Clark was changing teams. And it's like 1994 was that year for me. And let's just say I haven't followed San Francisco since then. I was hardly a San Francisco Giants fan, more of an extreme Will Clark fan. And so when he went, I went. And but like I said, it was different. When I was a teen, it was like box score every day, run down. My dad wasn't the first person to look at the newspaper when I was growing up. It was me, because I was ripping that paper apart to get the sports page to see the box scores. Look at it, pre-internet, dude. Like, you stay up late enough at night now, and you're gonna get the sports report and all the details. Um, Maybe I've showed this before, maybe I haven't. This was week of July 7 to July 13, 1991. And look who was on the news. I mean, the TV guide that came in the newspaper, in the local newspaper. The Thrill, Will Clark. I mean, who would imagine that? I freaked out when I saw that. Excuse me. And even crazier than that is that weekend we weren't even home, so I didn't even see that one until we got home Sunday afternoon, because on Friday night we left to go stay in Yucca Valley, which is the desert in California, at a friend's house. But that Sunday morning, when we were having breakfast, my friends brought this to me. He was like, "Hey, Billy, you want this? This was in the newspaper today." And even back then, everybody I knew I was a Will Clark fan and was looking out for me. So, shit, I took that home with me. And then we got home, and sure enough, that other one was waiting for me. And I've actually, uh, I don't think anybody else on this planet has those. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to just come out and say, I don't know this for sure. Nobody else kept theirs except me. Why would you keep it? Because shit like that isn't like really collectible. It's not a real collectible. See, you make your collection what it is, okay? And so I don't have this maybe that's what makes me weird, but I don't have a desire to have all those things that everybody else is trying to get. Like, and you can't put a price tag on those TV guides. And to me, it's more like all those weird, goofy stars lined up to where I was able to get these from home and a friend, and somehow managed to keep them binded up. And that's why I use binders. I know some people are like set against binders, but not me, man. To me, it's like it's a central location where it's all right there and all ready to go. And those have been in sheets for 20, hold on, 1991. Shit, those have been in sheets for 32 years, because I chose to put like the forethought and the care into my collection. I mean, honestly, when I was that age, that was the one thing that I was doing as a hobby. You know what I mean? I was like trying to make the baseball team and playing baseball, and then that was my one hobby. I wasn't really drawing all the time, though I had the ability, but back then I just wasn't really trying to hone in on my artistic abilities. Collecting cards and trying to make that Will Clark collection was my hobby. And today in 2022, it still is. And I'm really glad I got back into it, because all right, I literally stopped collecting in 92 and didn't start back up until 2016, and there was so much to be had, and it was fun. Like, now it's to the point. Now it's to the see. I didn't have one Texas Ranger card, so that was a great place to start. None. So every Texas Ranger card that was imaginable was not in my collection. So my collection went from just that one little gray folder right there, ending in 1992, to the two folders behind that guitar case. I think I have six binders, memorabilia, and then all the other stuff. And being lucky enough to have met him, and I mean, I have the raddest autograph collection of Will Clark as well. So yeah, starting up again in 2016 was pretty rad, and I'm glad I did it. And like I said, I wouldn't know half the people that I know on social media if it wasn't for the card collecting aspect of people. You see, like, I'm an artist, but other people aren't artists, and they're looking for people or things or items to place in their collection, and that's just where I fit in. And so, if you need something like that for your collection, that was 1993, Bonds and Clark, the only year they played together. And and if you are an artist, I want your Will Clark artwork. Easy. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna conclude it right there. My mouth is getting dry. Flap my gums far too long. And hey, I hope you enjoy my collection. Soon enough, I'd like to talk to you. So if you're collecting, you want to hit me up in the chat box right there. We can set up an interview. If not, I'll be looking for people on my social media sites to possibly come down and talk about what you're collecting. Thank you for watching The Bill Collector, where I'm Bill and I'm a collector. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.